Let's be honest, we're all kind of drowning in information, right? We've got articles, reports, meeting notes, just piles of it. The real trick isn't finding information anymore, it's making sense of it. So, what if you had a personal research assistant that could instantly master your documents and give you insights you could actually trust? Well, that's the big promise of Google's NotebookLM, and today, we're going to see if it lives up to the hype.
You know the feeling. You ask a chatbot a question and it spits out this beautifully written, confident-sounding answer that is completely made up. These AI hallucinations are more than just annoying. They're a huge problem when you need answers that are actually, reliable for your work or your studies. So what's the alternative?
I love this analogy because it's perfect. Think of a general AI, like a ChatGPT or Gemini, as a sledgehammer. It's super powerful, smashes the entire internet for an answer. But NotebookLM, it's more like a rock hammer. It's a precision tool. It doesn't search the web at all. Instead, it only queries the specific documents that you give it. And that single difference is what makes it so trustworthy. And this brings us to the magic concept here, grounded AI. Every single answer NotebookLM gives you is directly tied to, or grounded in, the source material you uploaded. It's not going to just invent facts out of thin air. And even better, every single response comes with a citation, a little number you can click to see the exact passage it used to come up with its answer. That means you can always verify its work. Okay, so here's our game plan. We've kind of covered why this is a different kind of AI. Next, we'll get into building your knowledge base, turning all that data into actual understanding, and then using it as your own personal content studio. After that, we'll dive into some really cool advanced workflows and wrap up with some pro tips to make sure you get the best results. All right, first things first, building your knowledge base. The best way to think about this is like you're creating your own private, highly curated library. This is where you hand NotebookLM the exact materials you want it to become an expert on. And getting started is just incredibly simple. It is literally a two-step process. You make a new notebook for whatever project or topic you're working on, and then you just start uploading your sources. That's it. No complicated setup, no long tutorials needed. You just upload, ask, and learn. And the versatility here is seriously impressive. You're not just stuck with text files. You can feed it PDFs, Google Docs, links to websites, even entire YouTube videos. It can also pull text from images, which is super cool. You could literally snap a photo of your whiteboard notes after a meeting, and boom, they're instantly a searchable part of your knowledge base. So once all your sources are uploaded, this is where NotebookLM transforms from just a research assistant into your own personal AI tutor. It's really designed to turn that passive active reading into a super active, engaging learning experience. I mean, look at this. It's basically a complete interactive study kit. It can automatically generate flashcards and quizzes based on your notes to test yourself. It can create a mind map to give you this awesome visual overview of how all the key ideas connect. It can even act like a real tutor with its learning guide feature, asking you these smart, open-ended questions that really push you to think deeper about the material. But NotebookLM has really evolved beyond just helping you analyze and learn. It is now a seriously powerful content creation platform. It lets you go from a messy pile of research directly to a finished product in just a matter of seconds. And this quote from AI News kind of captures the buzz around these new features. The power to instantly generate professional-looking content has some people calling it a total game changer for how we make presentations and reports. The one-click creation tools are just remarkable. It can turn your sources into a slide deck, an infographic, or a structured report. But honestly, one of the most incredible features is the audio overview. It generates a surprisingly realistic podcast-style conversation between two AI hosts, and they're talking about your material. It is a fantastic way to review notes while you're driving or at the gym. Okay, so we know the features. Now let's talk about how to actually weave them into some truly powerful real-world workflows. This is where NotebookLM goes from being just a cool tool to an absolutely essential part of your process. So here's a brilliant strategy for content creators out there. First, you pull all of your website's content into NotebookLM. Then you tell it to generate a mind map so you get this visual overview of everything you've already talked about. Now, here's the clever part. You export that mind map as an image and you feed it to a general AI, like Gemini. Then you can ask it, hey, based on this map of my content, what topics are my audience interested in that I'm completely missing? It becomes a strategic partner for your content planning. This next one is for anyone who's ever had to present data. You start by uploading your spreadsheets. Then, you ask NotebookLM to just analyze the raw numbers and find the key trends, the interesting patterns, the important outliers. Once it has those insights, you can tell it to structure them into logical sections for a presentation. Sales trends, regional performance. And finally, you just ask it to write a title and bullet points for each slide. You've just turned a dense spreadsheet into a clear presentation outline in minutes. Now, to really master this tool, we need to understand not just what it does, but a little bit about how it thinks, including its limitations. These are the pro tips that are going to save you from getting frustrated and help you get the most accurate results possible. This quote from a Reddit user just perfectly sums up the most important thing to remember. NotebookLM doesn't read or hold your entire 500-page document in its memory all at once. It has to be way more efficient than that. And understanding this one little fact is the key to using it effectively. The technology behind this is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, but all you really need to know is how it works. When you ask a question, the system first does a quick search to find the most relevant paragraphs or chunks from your documents. Then it feeds only those specific chunks to the AI to write an answer. This means the AI never sees your entire document at once, only the little pieces the system thinks are most important for your question. So how do you work with a system like that? Well, first, if you have a really big document, consider breaking it up into smaller files, maybe chapter by chapter. That helps the search system. Second, ask specific, pointed questions. Instead of, summarize this whole book, try asking, what's the main argument in Chapter 3 about economic policy? If you think a summary missed something, just ask about that topic directly. And like with any AI, you should always verify the supercritical data points yourself. And this brings us back to what I think is the absolute best way to think about this. A general AI is like a scout, exploring the huge open internet. NotebookLM, on the other hand, is your personal librarian. It has perfect knowledge of everything inside your hand-picked collection, but it never ever steps outside the walls of that library. So it all just comes down to choosing the right tool for the job. For general, wide-ranging research, a tool like Gemini is perfect. For highly specialized legal research, you're going to use something else. But for a deep, trustworthy analysis of your own documents, NotebookLM is purpose-built to be the absolute best tool for that specific task. Ultimately, I think NotebookLM's greatest strength is its ability to be a bridge. It takes all of your messy, raw information and helps you cross over to organized, high-level insight. It's about so much more than just summarizing. It's about real, genuine understanding. So we've seen how NotebookLM gives you this incredibly precise, powerful way to move from raw data to real insight. It's a tool designed to turn your information into action. So the question is, now that you have this ultimate raw camera in your toolkit, what are you going to build with it?